welcome back to Hope Follows. I'm your host, Julie Kensler, author, broadcaster, and friend on the journey with you. This is a place where we share difficult struggles, life challenges, but we want to talk about the victory, the triumph that goes along with it. And that's what Hope Follows is all about. Thank you for watching. Please like this, share it with others. And always go to hopefollows.com for more resources and information. And previous episodes, we're over 100 now. So thank you for following along on the Hope Follows journey. I am super excited today to bring to the stage my new friends, Amanda and Shawn Schultz. Yes,
Yay!
They are newlyweds. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. And a friend watching, you may have seen the episode previously with Amanda. And if you haven't seen it, please go watch it because then you'll know more about what we're talking about. But these are two really special people that met at an amazing organization, ministry called Celebrate Recovery. And if you could just briefly, Amanda, share that and not how you met because that's in her episode, but just share what Celebrate Recovery is.
Okay. Celebrate Recovery is an amazing Christian recovery group meant for anybody with hurts, habits, and hangups, which is basically everybody. So people come for codependency, for addictions, for depression, for you name it. We come with all of those, and we identify ourselves as faithful believers in Jesus Christ who struggle with these things. So our identity is in Christ, and these are the things we struggle with. And so through a systematic 12-step program, we reveal where those all come from our childhood, from all of those things, and just ask God to take them away and bring us the healing and freedom that only He can bring.
And I hear that people become like family there.
Definitely. It's called a forever family. Yep.
And you can meet your future spouse there. Which, again, watch Amanda's episode. But today is a story about two people who were broken and at their own individual rock bottom, and how could they get out of it? We're going to hear about addiction of all kinds, hurts, trauma. So let's get into it. Shawn,
Yes.
Let's start with you. Well, actually, first, I want to go back to your wedding because I was able to be a guest at their wedding. And there were some very meaningful pieces to your wedding. Two things in particular. One was the washing of feet. Can one of you explain that?
We saw a video of a bride and groom washing their feet, and we're like, that is amazing. That's how we want to start our marriage. And God just laid in my heart, how about you start your life as a married couple as being servants to others? So we did that to our bridal party. We washed their feet. It was amazing.
I just couldn't believe it. The church was super silent, watching this in awe of this beautiful moment. It was just heavenly. And then, the one that got me in tears was Amanda's daughter is about 10, right? Yep. Double digits. Yes. And you guys had something special for her.
Yep.
Share about that, please.
We bought a necklace that said Olivia on it, but I did vows to her, basically vowing to be her new extra dad, to love her, cherish her, build her up in Christ, just to raise her properly. Because I had vows for Amanda, so she's my daughter. She's vows for her too. So it was God joined us as one family, and so I needed to.
And so she was there on the stage at the altar, and you gave her the necklace. Yeah. And what did that say?
Oh, it had her name, Olivia, on it. Okay. And then I wrote some vows on it. So plus it came with a little plaque a little placard about what an extra dad is.
Oh, so it was really designed for that.
Definitely.
Oh, that was beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing that. Beautiful wedding. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, Shawn, let's go into your story. Let's start from the beginning in your childhood. And if you could share the the childhood trauma experience you had.
Yeah. I grew up with a dad that was a very, very violent, physically, emotionally, and all of it. Basically, didn't go a day without fear. Um, and so
And how did you cope with that?
I didn't. I did cope the best way I could, and that was I found music, and I also got into fantasy, thinking I was Superman or going to the moon.
Yeah.
And I recluse though. I was probably the shyest kid because I was terrified to say anything because I what he gave me on that moment was what I was worth, which was nothing. Didn't want to be born. And so, yeah, I did that as a child. And I was terrified of even talking to people. So,
And people would tell your parents, he doesn't talk.
yeah.
He's just here at school. He's doing great.
Mm-hmm.
And then how did it get into drugs and sex and all of that and porn?
Yeah, like I said, I guess it was just when I hit, I always was sneaking my parents' alcohol at a very young age. Um, and and so when I was just so lonely. I went to high school. I said, I want to be popular, and I'm going to do whatever it took. I got into sports, football and wrestling, down with the crowd, and so I basically started using um, girls at sex, the pornographic material. Um, my rage just became, what made me supposedly king of the campus. But I was a scared boy inside. And so, but honestly, if I didn't have that, I knew I would have committed suicide because I needed an outlet.
Right. And that was it. And so about how old were you at that point?
Well, when I started doing it was the summer before you start high school. So what's that, 13?
Okay.
You had to go try out for football.
Right.
And
So
a
it
lot
was
of the guys
time.
I was good at it. And so some of the seniors and juniors were like, okay, I like this guy. They invited me to a party. And I remember getting drunk for the first time. And I felt freedom. And I just I didn't want to stop.
So that was your life at that point. And your sister was expecting a baby.
Yep. There's two miracles that happened. Once I was about 16, and I finally was not gonna let my dad beat me anymore. So I attacked back, and I still remember his look in his eyes of fear. And I died that day. It didn't feel good at all. It felt worse. About 6 months later, my sister was pregnant, and like I said, he had a lot of horrible things in him. And he told her the minute they come home from the hospital, they're out on the streets. So we went to the hospital to see my niece. He went in, but he came out different. I didn't recognize him. When he saw his niece, his granddaughter, for the first time, God got into him. And he came out with this, he had a shadow of just yuckiness. And when he went in, he came out light, happy, full of love. And I didn't know what that meant. All I know is I hated him. And the crazy part was that's the day my dad found Christ.
That day with that new grandchild. It is so beautiful.
So I say I think we see a glimpse of God through children.
Oh.
I always do.
Yeah.
So yeah, he became a man that I was more angry.
How did you respond to that?
I was like, what is this?
Everything should be fine.
I thought I was gonna go back. I'm waiting for the hat to drop, right?
Of course.
And then it made me more mad because he was this guy, and I never got that guy. And so I was very angry and didn't understand. So we didn't talk for 2 years. I was like, I'm done with you. He left me alone. I was happy.
And you hear those stories of when somebody does turn around and makes a better life for themselves, especially coming to the Lord. People have a chip on their shoulder, and they think, how dare you? How dare you now be this way?
He didn't have any right to be that way.
Yeah.
After what you did.
And so then you went into the military.
Yeah, I went in the military.
Marines.
I went in the Marines. I had no idea about college. I was like, no. And so I went in the Marines and I did six years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a good Marine, as they said. A drunkard, full of rage, like to fight, and a sector. I mean, those are literally what you think about.
Mm-hmm.
And so I excelled in the Marines. I found a brotherhood
Mm-hmm.
that I always wanted.
Yeah.
And would always have your back. And then, and so we went there. And then until we went to training and then got deployed about 4 months after training in December. That was Somalia.
Somalia.
And that's where I had to take my first life. And it was of a 14-year-old boy, not the enemy I was trained for.
Yeah.
And it really messed me up. But then I turned inward towards my old friend Anger, and became very angry at everything.
And then I just don't even have words to say for that. But then you're in the moment, and then you have to live past the moment.
You do. And like I said, I saw and did a lot of horrific stuff.
Yeah.
And you can put it anything you want. But it's just, it haunts you. And if you don't deal with it, it consumes you.
And you've said how you could be just, you come back home and you're just living life. And then all of a sudden the memories.
The flashbacks.
Right.
The night terrors. I'd be sitting just at a bus stop and nothing could trigger it. All of a sudden, I'm back in combat. I could smell, it could be January and I'd feel the heat. I felt my back on me. The gunfire of my buddies.
Yeah.
There. And then you're there. You're not back here. You're there.
Right.
And you learn to sit silent in it.
And the VA was where you went.
Yep.
But before that,
something
happened.
Well, I dove into drugs and alcohol hard to fix me. And a horrible lifestyle too. So I found out being homeless. I didn't want to be around anybody. I left my family. I told them they were trying to get me help. And I told them that I was dead to them.
And why did you say you were dead to them?
Because I was a monster myself. If you loved me, I was no good to you. I hurt you the worst.
So you left because you knew you felt you weren't good for them?
No, because my words, my actions, I always made them cry with things.
Yeah.
I had to protect them from me.
Right. Okay. I think that's something people don't realize.
Yeah.
When a loved one turns away.
When their loved ones do suicide and PTSD, if anything, it could be PTSD. You have something inside you that grows, and mine was rage and demoralization of what you are.
Okay.
And I knew I was their enemy, and I couldn't put them through that.
Yeah.
So I'd rather go live on the streets where I belong. I thought
that's where you thought you belonged.
I believe honestly that I was evil myself, and I don't deserve.
Yeah.
And so I lived out the streets for 2 years, doing crimes to support my addictions. I mean, it was like, okay, if this guy's a bad guy, I'm a bad guy. I can do things to get money from him, because we're both bad, right?
Right.
Wow. And so
just a constant negative.
Yeah, but I was the guy on downtown Phoenix, 7th Street in Van Buren, where I call my home, behind a dumpster. I was the guy talking to himself, walking, had a beard down to here, a look in his eyes of just pure hatred or pure blank. And I mean, the 2 years, people like, didn't that take a long time? No, it actually, I didn't know how much time went by.
Wow, that was you.
That was me. I mean, where people would go across the other side of the street from me because
they didn't want to be by you.
I was probably scary, And so then I tried to take my life. April 17th, 2001. I had my sidearm. It's a gun, sorry. And I pulled the trigger, squeezed it in my mouth. Nothing happened, which threw me off because it's the first time something that, I know my weapons. And again, nothing happened. So I yelled at something for the first time that I didn't know what was, which was I was yelling at a God I didn't understand.
Right.
If you're not going to take me, you better help me. And he reminded me the VA was up the road, so I went up there and told them everything. And they locked me in a room, of course, rightfully so. Yeah. And I just felt, I saw light, and it didn't make sense out there because it was hospitals at night. Everything was.
Yeah, but you saw light.
I saw light. I sat down and I'm like, I want to die.
Yeah.
And I felt the most loving hug. And I didn't know it was God then. I just knew it. I knew it was something that was loving me. And so they got me into the veterans programs. Did really good. The problem is I was still me without God. I became my addictions came out in other ways. I was Mr. NA. I was involved in Narcotics Anonymous. I was Mr. Service to everybody. I could fix everybody.
But behind the scenes, what was going on still?
Still the same old Shawn. I did a lot better. I wasn't hurting people. And I said I was still addicted to women at the time until I met my wife. Not this one.
Yes.
And we met, we were recovering, and it was. But then we moved to Pennsylvania, and I didn't get involved in any recovery program. And I got this, is this fast saying. And we went straight down, and I shattered my ankles because of an accident. And when they, pain meds was never my thing, but when they put them in me, after all the recovery, the demon was loose in me. And it didn't take long after that to start using and lose everything that I worked my whole career to get to.
And how long did you not? How long?
I was 2001 to 2016.
So he was clean and sober for
15
years.
years.
Right.
That was a long time.
Yep. And a lot of it was they called dry drunk syndrome, where you still have the same attributes. I was really, honestly, I was a nice person. I really wanted to help, but it was look at me. My adrenaline thing was worst. I think I was probably trying to kill myself with my adrenaline. Anyway, I never dealt with my PTSD, and that was still raging.
Even though you went to the VA, you still.
I got help, but it was you
needed more.
You have to seek help from them and tell them, and you have to be honest. And so they have programs, and I said, no, I'm good now.
Of course, that's what everybody thinks.
And so I did, and then we, like I said, we had some tragedies in our life. We lost children. And then I think that was a downfall.
You lost children at birth.
At birth, my twin boys that did not. They only lived a couple minutes, so they grabbed them from us to try and save them, but it didn't work. And then a miscarriage.
That's hard on a couple.
It was.
It really is.
And I think my ex blamed herself the whole time, and I kept telling her, "It's not your fault. It's him. Whoever's up there."
Okay, so now it's anger.
Yeah, my
God.
old friend Anger.
And so now there was a point you guys hit at a low, and you had to contact your dad.
Yeah, we had everything, and then I took us to the streets again. Not just me this time, but her. So I had to call my dad. That's the man I haven't talked to. We talked, but it was very sarcastic because there was no love on my end.
He had been trying to.
He'd been trying and just was a good man, but it was very super level. But like you have to be nice to your dad. Okay, but I wasn't. Everything was sarcastic out of my mouth. So one night we were getting kicked out of the hotel. It was a $20 hotel near Hershey, where all of us drug addicts hanged out. Right, and I finally called him. I said, "Dad, I need to tell you the truth." He's like, "All right, I'm going to get you guys plane tickets to get you home." And then I go, "We don't have licenses." He's like, "I'll be there in the morning." He took a flight, booked a rental car so we could drive back from Pennsylvania to Arizona, and didn't ask one thing about it.
What did that say to you?
I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's she brought it up, and I never knew. It was like she's like, "That's like the prodigal son." But it still didn't hit me because I was still. I came home and I was still the same guy I was in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I was just living with my
new
parents.
Location.
Yep. You can't run from yourself. You'll show up wherever you are.
Yeah.
And
that's a good line. You can't what?
You can't run from yourself. You will show up wherever you show up.
Okay.
So if you're trying to move to get away from it, guess what? You're following yourself. So the problems you have are going to be right there.
Yeah.
But
I didn't deal with them.
Yeah. And I didn't get help when I was back. So much of just years of childhood, my trauma, everything. And then basically we were living at my parents with my best friend also. And I came home and found them in bed together.
This is your best friend and your first wife.
Yep. And I lost it. I literally hurt him really bad. And then she grabbed my shoulder, and I smacked her and broke her nose. And that was it. I've never hit a woman in my life. I prided on that. And I was done then. So I said, okay, where's the nearest liquor store? It was up the road about a mile.
What were you going to do there?
Get as much alcohol I could do and just drown me.
Okay.
I was going to buy a couple of vodkas.
Okay.
And then I was walking, I saw the bus coming, and I'm like, this is it. They're not going to stop in time.
So jump in front of
So
them.
you're thinking you're going to jump in front of this
I'm
bus.
jumping. And
Had you already drank at that point?
No, I was high from the morning.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I
But
went.
you've got this anger.
Yeah, this anger, and I had this anger, the rage that could go through walls. And I went, and I couldn't. Physically, something was stopping me. It's not like I stopped myself. I know it wasn't me. I didn't know. And then
Now we know.
Yeah, we know it's God. He's like, I got plans for you.
Yeah.
Crazy thing is my niece, who I helped her find recovery, she got an image of me, so she went to find me that night. Like, okay, God's telling me to go. And she
share about what work she was doing.
She was in recovery. She went to prison, got out of prison, got her rights restored, which is only God sent. And then she was working in community bridges as a recovery person, helping
a Christian.
Yeah. And so she's like, she went. And they told them what happened. She knew the nearest liquor store, so she came up. And I was there.
She knew where to go.
She knew the nearest liquor store. God, no, he's going there. So she went. And about 5 minutes later, she pulls up and she's like, "Uncle, you can't do this anymore. You're killing yourself. This isn't even you."
How old was she at the time?
Oh gosh, she was probably 25, 26.
And you were?
That was 7 years ago. Oh no, it's 47.
Yeah,
I was 47.
And here's this 35-year-old, and you'll listen to her.
Yeah, and she's my mini me. She's the only one that could have talked me into going.
Yeah.
She's like, no, it's not you. There's something attached to you. I just know it.
And she was obedient to God.
Yeah.
To go do what he called her to do.
Yeah. And so she found a place. She got me right in there.
Yeah.
And I went in there and said the same situation. And then again, same thing happened. That night I got a hug. A second hug. Slow learner, by the way. And then I looked up for the first time and said, I don't know who you are, but I need to know you. And that's when I took Christ to my heart. So the day I got sober is the day I found Christ.
And you had a new friend in that home.
Yeah. My first caseworker did not really want to help me. She was just doing her job. And then I saw another caseworker. I'm like, can you help me? If I get out, I will do bad things. She's like, they don't let any of us take other patients. The next day she came running down. She was running looking for me around this place. Mr. Schultz, Mr. Schultz, Mr. Schultz. And she's like, you're my patient. It never happens.
Okay, now there's people praying for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had so many people praying for me at that
we
point.
know these are God's little angels.
Yeah. I don't know how many, but a lot. My parents were talking to everybody they knew. And
absolutely.
And then, so she's like, I found the perfect place for you. It's a 90 days where you sign up and then you can leave, but you have to leave everything behind. So when you walk out, you don't have a phone, you don't have no money, you have nothing. You're stuck out there, and it's a surprise. I'm like,
very far in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
in the desert in Arizona.
And so she was selling it on me. I'm like, no, you don't have to sell me. It's a house to 12 addicts trying to find recovery with mental illnesses.
Okay,
it was a dual diagnosis place. And it's right when COVID hit too. And so she's telling me, because it had it was really nice. It was this really 5,000 square foot house, mansion with all these great things. I didn't care about any of it. I just wanted help. And so we went there. And then all of a sudden I met my roommate right away. His name is Jason.
Okay.
This guy today looks like a big bad biker, man. 6 foot, biggest teddy bear. Sorry, Jason.
And also there is some it was Josh who said that's right. It wasn't Jason who said that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I heard you share your testimony for the first time, your story, you had shared, can you say that line of what Josh said to you?
Yeah, I was doing my testimony and I had put in that I hit my wife. You don't want to tell him. And the thing was, that purpose CR, there was about 40 women from a recovery base in there. Yeah. Like, I'm going to go up and tell them, but I'm one of those guys that do what you do.
Yeah.
And
it did to them.
Yeah, I did to them. Yeah. And he goes, is it your testimony or is it God's testimony? And there's your answer. And I knew I had to tell my testimony.
Right. And so that's what we're here today to share. This is God's testimony.
This is God's
of what
testimony.
He's done through you,
Yeah.
over you.
Yeah.
Okay. So now Jason.
Yeah. Jason goes,
is his
hey,
friend.
first thing he asked me, he said, nice to meet you. He's like, you're my roommate. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, you know about God? And I'm like, something I don't understand. Yeah. And he's like, okay. What about your relationship with Jesus? And I'm like, I've had to look like you're crazy. And he looks straight up. He's like, so this is what you give me? This is what I got to work with?
Like It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Like, oh God.
So then he's like, man, your Christian stuff is great, but I can't be forgiven. He's like, our first lesson, we're going to talk about a man named Saul. And he shared about Saul, about what Saul was.
Yeah.
Like he had a passion, a rage to kill off Christians, and he raised it. He was Joseph's death because of that.
And you said he was joyful, and
he was. It even says that he snarled like with a beast-like excitement to tear something apart. That was Apostle Paul. He went after them like it was his passion to kill them, bring them to justice, and most likely get rid of them.
okay.
So yeah, he, and a lot of people, they read over that, but they don't realize what he had a passion to kill all Christians. And
what God did.
Yeah, what God did. And I'm like, okay, I might have some forgiveness coming. And then he did. He's like, I remember, it was like the weekend. I'm learning, I'm just like soaking this up. Like, this is God that I never knew. Mm-hmm. He's like, I got a question for you. He's like, just take this to bed tonight. Do you believe Jesus died for your sins? Mm-hmm. And he is who he is. Mm-hmm. Without stories. I'm like, for some reason, yeah. I believe he's protecting my whole life. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have turned out like here. Yeah. I should be in the hospital, in prison. But yeah, he came. He's like, great. You now have nothing to worry about. Mm-hmm. Yep, you're going to heaven. Yeah. I'm like, I have to do something, right? He's like, you just did it. He's like, and so we had for 3 months we were there. Bible study and just really got in the Word. And
you had said about Jason also, that was the first person you actually prayed for.
Yeah, he was. He checked himself in because he couldn't have the will to live. Mm-hmm. I've never seen that before. Yeah. And I was like, for the first, like after a couple nights, I went out by the waterfall. I said, God, you gotta help him. You say you're all that good, and you're amazing, and you got all those guns. So I want you to make Jason want to breathe, to live, give him the hope. And then see, God just put us together. I needed him to learn about God, and he needed me to have somebody to teach.
Right.
And so, because I would cry. I've never cried for another person. I never prayed for anybody. So I prayed diligently. Oh. And then after 30 days, because we're celebrating the 30-day mark, right?
Yeah.
And he comes down skipping. I want to live. I want to live. Yeah. Oh man, it was like, I'm like, that's God. Yeah. And I knew God answered that prayer. I'm like, wow, this is what it means.
So your faith is just growing.
I guess, and then I apologized. Like, oh God, I'm sorry, all the stuff I thought about you. And for some reason, I think we're good.
We're good. And then you found Celebrate Recovery, added more of the layers of accountability and support.
Yep, I found a group of guys after I got through the recovery side. I was praying to God. I go, God, I need a group of guys that were kind of like Marines that keep you accountable, but Christians to walk a life like they had the disciples. But they would not let you get away with that. I need that. So please give it to me. And I was talking that I remember I go, hey, God, I'm deaf. So I need you to speak very loud when you tell me to do something. So I met June and was getting out of there, and I found this place, and it just was like, God felt like saying, this is where you're going to live. Amazing Christian man. And I move in, and he's like, hey, Saturday, we're going to have a life group. And I'm like, what's a life group? He's like, it's kind of like a Bible study on steroids for men or women. I'm like, okay. And I found these 12 men that have been in my life since then, and we keep each other accountable. We're in each other's lives every day, and it is so, we won't take it. It's like we had a disagreement, and I said something I should have, And I was towing on the Polo, and I got all the guys
Marco
like,
Polo on the phone
you
app.
better find her, buy her flowers. You better go apologize. I would never tell my wife that. I'm like, uh-oh. But like, that's wrong. Go make it right, Shawn. That's how we talk to each other.
Mhm.
So I like them a lot.
Yeah, I bet you do. Oh yeah, keep those
And
guys
so,
around.
yeah,
That life group.
they're amazing.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
then that night he's like, hey, tomorrow night, CR's at Compass. And you want to go? I'm like, I just heard about it. I want to go. And I walked in, and they're really welcoming. Like literally, I remember the guy welcomed me, and it was like, wow, this is great. I can feel Christ here. And then the first person goes up and says, I'm a faithful believer in Jesus Christ. And I'm like, that's their identity. That's my identity.
Yeah.
That means, and then I have hurts, haven't, and explains what your hurts haven't in here. I'm like, they don't stand a chance against Christ. Like, those are things that I have, but it's not who I am. My identity is in Christ.
That's right.
And I was like, I'm hooked. I'm staying. I'll stay for my keep me off drugs and alcohol.
You were saying also about how pornography, how some of the ways you guys would have to hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
Can you share that?
Yeah, we were like, the strongest and most courageous thing I think a man can do, or a lady, or anybody, is get vulnerable and tell on yourself.
Okay.
Because people can think they're courageous, but when you are sitting there and don't want to talk to anybody, tell anybody, but you tell them, that's the most courageous thing I ever saw. It's the most. It's I've seen courage, but that is the courageous thing I've ever seen, because that is when we can help. So yeah, so I was having a horrible time with porn addiction and sex addiction. I wasn't touching somebody, so I'm good. I was still very manipulative, and like I said, when I got there, God showed me a list of things He wanted me to work on. I'm like, and that was the big one, because it's funny. If I did the thing that brought my attention after I did it, why did I feel so much shame, and why did I push everybody? I isolate.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't a big deal, so then talking to the guys, and my roommate June's like, "Hey, give me your phone." I'm like, "Okay." He said he'd do this code, and I'm like, "Oh, did a parental code." He's like, "Now you can't go on anything." I'm like,
Parent code.
"Yeah." And I'm like, "Sweet." And he's like, "And we're gonna have a rule: we keep the doors open, no longer than 5 minutes, or they close, so we know what we're doing." Because none of us are gonna do anything if the door's open with somebody there.
Right.
Yeah. And so it became fun, because they like keep me in the shower, like, "Hey, 5 minutes are up. Come on, get out." And it was fun how we made it. And then we got, and it is, it's most everybody's battle. People don't realize how porn is, and in any facet, have taken over lives and destroyed them.
Yeah, it's a drug.
It is a drug. It's its enemy, because he makes it, everybody does it, or you're not hurting anybody. But then people in Celebrate Recovery, some guys came up that were leaders in the sexual integrity group, like, I want you to watch these videos if you don't think you hurt anybody. And it was so heartbreaking to see about original porn stars and what the industry did when they came to LA to become actors. Oh, it was slavery. It was extortion. They would have these people find out these things about these 16, 18-year-old kids, and find everything about them, and say, if you quit, we're going to talk to Grandma Joe and show them this. Don't worry, take some of these drugs. They'll be
blackmail.
And then most of those workers, after they've been a while, they have to take medication to keep physically to do it, because these are 8-hour shoots. They would tell how painful it was, and I'm like, I am supporting that. I'm part of the problem. And once that came to me, I'm like, I'm done. It was just like, thank you, God. And and then it was like, okay, now he's like, we got some pride issues, control issues. And then the biggest one I struggle with is, I'm not worthy. We know we're not worthy, but it's still a constant battle that I'm not accepting the gift that God has given me.
But you have affirmations that you use, and your time in the Bible, and you have all this accountability. What is your favorite affirmation to say about yourself? That you guys had, like,
she's gonna say it. I'm gonna be rush, but my biggest affirmation for me is, I'm a man after God's heart. I'm kind. I'm loving. I'm caring. I deserve what I have. Meaning that none of us deserve what we all deserve. But God's like, I love you so much. These are the blessings I want to give you. I'm giving them to you. And yes, you do deserve them because I gave them to you.
Accept it. Right.
And accept it. So accepting things and also not going to the past.
Oh, okay.
You know, because the enemy has fun with me.
Mm-hmm.
He does. And it's funny. I have little habits. And when we got married, I stopped getting the Bible at night.
Mm-hmm.
Got having the time, and I started slipping back, and not anything, but it was just like self-deprecation a little bit. Like, you really don't deserve any of this. Jesus didn't do that for you. And then all of a sudden, some flashbacks happen. Not like a flashback, like, remember when you did this when you were in the Marines? Remember when you were like this?
Ooh.
And then
you're right. There's like just a little hole here and there, and the enemy will just go right in.
And then my combat is to kick him out.
Yeah.
I go, no. The word says, I'm forgiven from the east to the west. You must leave, Satan. Get away from me. Christ owns me. And it does.
Good.
Yeah. So it's like, no.
So we're getting back into that routine.
Yeah. And so it is. But I have
you had friends tell you that.
Yeah.
Like,
Amanda, friends.
Amanda.
And it's just, because I was missing some very important things in my life.
Yeah.
And so it's just amazing.
It's such a beautiful story of restoration. And thank you for watching today, friend. These are two broken individuals that met at a recovery place that's a fully supportive one. And now look at them. They have the joy of the Lord. Amanda, I knew her first, and all that joy she has. And then when I met you, it's like,
Some of my friends are like, he's a male version of you, man.
Yes,
that's why we like him. And I'm like, yep, I know, me too.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why you wear blue.
Yeah, we love blue.
You match.
Yep. Yeah. We love matching.
Yes.
Yes.
We do. We do wear a lot of matching stuff.
You guys, God is doing great things through you. So what is your hope to use with this marriage that he has given to you?
Yeah. So from my first interview, on here, I said all I wanted to do was to be in ministry with my husband. Okay. And I thought that was going to happen with my first marriage, and it didn't, even marrying a pastor. And now, 15 years later, as a 46-year-old, and I'm just like, God has restored, like we said, the years the locusts have eaten, Joel 2:25, and to bring it just into the most incredible package deal here. And our pastor has talked to us about starting to celebrate recovery at our church.
And you guys leading it.
Yes, and us leading it. And that's just like, obviously where we met, but what has had such a transformative power in our lives, but then also just our lives, talking to our friends, talking to younger people, and saying, you can save yourself from marriage, because we did.
What did you guys do?
Former porn and sex addicts, both of us. And then to think like we both had agreed, or not even agreed, we had vowed personally by ourselves that we were going to save sex for their marriage. And then when we started dating and we realized that we both had that vow, and I said, can we take that a step back and not further back? And he's like, what do you mean? I said, kissing is where it starts for me, and I am asking if we not kiss until we get married. And he was like, wow. Yes, I am totally on board for that. I said, but two exceptions. I said, should we kiss when you propose to me someday?
Yep, she did.
And then can we kiss during our engagement pictures? Because I didn't get that for my first wedding marriage. So it was incredible, and for us to both believe that the fulfillment that we got in not doing all of that stuff was ahead. And
it's even hard. It's so hard to explain, because the intimacy that we got with that, what we talked about, how we got in the Word, we grew, and how there was nothing there to try and sneak a pill or sneak any of that got or her. It wasn't even thinking about kissing her. It was not even thinking about touching her leg.
I mean, we wanted to.
We wanted to, but it was not.
It was like,
no, it's not an option.
Limits, right.
So it was like God. That's where God's power came in, and we truly believe that we have this power. We want to do what you say.
Right.
So please, and so not that He gave us the strength, but he took that away from us.
Mhm.
Where it got like, when we started getting ready to get married, I'm like, I hope I get it back. It was a joke, but it was like,
yeah, well, your kiss
Yeah.
on your wedding day was really long.
Yeah.
So it was
Long
just
time coming.
amazing what God.
Yes.
I always
And has
forget.
blessed abundantly.
His,
over
And
that.
that's why I see this is something beyond Celebrate Recovery.
no,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
What you have
Oh.
and the people you're going to touch, especially as you were saying, young people.
Yeah.
So thank you guys
Thank you.
for being on here.
Our
And
pleasure.
Amanda, will you
Yes.
grab a big idea? As we wrap up the show with Hope Follows today, friend, please go on over to hopefollows.com to see other shows that would be encouraging to you and other resources. Thank you again for joining us. Amanda's going to share something we all could go out and do that's something positive.
Yes. Invite a friend to go to dinner and ask what their passions and dreams are.
Good,
Yes.
good.
We
Okay.
literally just did that with one of my best friends. She's always had this huge dream to be a travel physical therapist, and she was in a dead-end job for 11 years and finally just quit like 2 months ago. And I said, go for it. I didn't want you to move far away, but now that we're in a healthier spot and I'm married, like, and everything is great, and you're going to come back. So she's actually going to be moving up to Washington for a couple of months and
great.
pursuing that. And so we got to help and encourage and pray for her through
I
that.
love that.
So,
and so there's an example. And so let's go out there and find a friend that you could meet up with, have lunch, coffee, dinner, and ask them what their dreams are. What are they wanting to do with their life? And reminding them that God has a purpose for them. And we see that in you guys today. And I'm just going to close in prayer.
Oh, please.
Thank you, God, for this opportunity to talk and sit and talk with Shawn and Amanda, Lord, and this beautiful union you have brought together. And it's just such a picture of broken pieces that you bring together, God, and make beautiful art. And we just ask you to bless their marriage and the reach they're going to have and touch lives. And I pray for our friend watching that you will show them that restoration, redemption, reconciliation are theirs. And they just need to seek you for it.
Yes.
Thank you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
I had this visual also because I was reminded of how your father, how that restoration and reconciliation happened. And today your relationship with your dad is.
It's amazing. It's something I never could even imagine. There's no way I could say that we have it where I truly love him with all my heart. And I don't have any hatred or dismay. God removed it. Yeah. And just revealed so many things.
And that's what they can have too. Our friend watching.
God, Jesus calls us to forgive.
Yeah.
Just remember, if you want forgiveness, you might want to start giving it. But it is what did Jesus teach? Yeah, and it's about forgiveness, and you will find the biggest heart. It doesn't make sense, but that's what happens.
Thanks again, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we are just so grateful you're joining us on this journey with Hope Follows. Again, friend, like the episode, share it with others, and we'll meet you here the next time.
Bye.